Hey there, it's David from B2B. Hope you're doing well. I'm just creating a short video here. What I want to do is I want to go through my growth thesis in a nutshell. So I'm a growth consultant. I help businesses to stop doing marketing and start growing. And if that sounds interesting to you, then please subscribe to my channel. I share loads of tips and guidance and personal stories from our businesses, and hopefully that'll help you grow your business as well. So what I want to talk about today is basically my high-level thesis on why we exist as a business and how we can actually help people, and my philosophy on growth, I guess, is what we're talking about today. And if you haven't done this as a business, I'd really recommend it. It's a very good exercise to go through exactly who your business is for, how you help them, how you're uniquely placed in order to do that. So it's a really good exercise. Anyway, so let's get into it. The first point of my thesis is that most businesses, and I'm really talking about traditional B2Bs here, most businesses have got ineffective or inefficient marketing, or sometimes both. And I think the reason for this is that we haven't found the message that really resonates with our audience. So what do I mean by this? Often what tends to happen is we jump from marketing channel to marketing channel. So we try a bit of LinkedIn outreach. We then go and update our website and try some SEO. We try and write some thought leadership content. We try some advertising, and we kind of hop from channel to channel, and we never see the huge success that we desire. And I think people tend to put this down to there being something wrong with the marketing channels that they're using, when in reality, in my opinion, it's much more about the message that we're sharing and having not exactly found true resonance yet. And that's why the marketing isn't working in the way that we want it to. So that's point number one of the thesis. Point number two is obviously, how do we actually find resonance? How do we find that message and the audience that we should be sharing it with? And in my opinion, all you need is one great marketing asset. So one great piece of marketing content. It's called a sales letter or a video sales letter. I don't have time to go into a detailed explanation now, but essentially the purpose of this piece of content is to take a cold prospect and turn them into a warm lead. So that's actually all we really need to grow our business. And you find this piece of content by testing the iteration, okay? So you position yourselves as a business, you put together a piece of content, you then test it and see if it works, see if it resonates, see if it turns cold prospects into warm leads. And if it does, you found resonance. If it doesn't, then you have to keep trying until you find it. And so it's a very scientific approach to finding this piece of great content or this asset that you can use to grow your business. And that solves the effectiveness piece because you found your message and your audience. And it also solves the efficiency because once you have this, it does a lot of the heavy lifting for you when it comes to your marketing and sales, which means you've got that efficiency there within your process. So that's step two. Now, step three of the thesis is once we have that resonance, so once we have a piece of marketing content that is converting cold prospects into warm leads, that's a great place to be. Now what we need to look at is the sales conversion mechanism, okay? So we need to look at the mechanism that converts that interest and those leads and turns them into customers. And so we need to make sure this is as efficient as possible. We need to make sure that the sales cycle is as short as possible, and we need to make sure that the closing percentages are as high as possible. And I really believe a lot of businesses, especially like I said, traditional B2B businesses, are leaving a lot of money on the table because they're generating leads, but then they're not converting those leads effectively into customers. So that's point three. And then point four of the process is, right, we've now got resonance from our marketing asset. We now have a great process of converting those leads into customers. Now we can scale up our marketing. So this is where we start doing a bit more marketing, if that makes sense. So we now need to get as much attention to our thing as possible. This is where we'll start producing more content. We'll scale up our paid advertising. We'll scale up our outbound prospecting, or whatever channels that we choose at this point. And the key here is to keep an eye on your primary metrics and make sure we remain hyper profitable. The problem is that I've found is that most businesses, they start at step four. So they start at the scaling marketing phase, right? But they haven't earned the right to do that by finding the message that really resonates with our audience. And so that's basically what we help businesses do. We help businesses to find that market resonance so that they can scale up efficiently. And using the exact protocol that I've just laid out, or the high level that I've laid out, we grew our marketing agency from 0 to 50K a month in the first 4 months after our public launch. And the first 90 days of B2B, we closed over 185K in new sales to our business. And that's with a small marketing team and without a huge budget. And so that kind of shows you what's possible in a short space of time if you have a really defined and targeted approach like this. So hopefully that's useful. If you have any questions, please leave them down below. And like I said, please feel free to subscribe if you want to learn more about these processes and if you want more tips and advice from our businesses. Thank you so much for listening and have a great day.